Hello, my name is Jane Duran and my ESOL strategy is games. I will use the SIOP model for sheltered instruction. My actual ESOL strategy is games and manipulatives, as well as many others you will see. The SIOP model consists of 8 components: preparation, building background, comprehensible input, strategies, integration, practice and application, lesson delivery, and review and assessment. My lesson plan scenario is first grade. My level of oral language proficiency is early production and speech emergence. My content area is math, and we will be telling time. Materials and resources needed. Materials must be linguistically and culturally appropriate for the language of instruction. Thus, during instructional time, we will use materials written in English and adapt them for Spanish language instruction. Teaching children to tell time is probably universal. Any clock pattern available to teachers will do for this lesson. The SIOP model will support my teaching. It is like a lesson plan checklist. It helps me monitor my progress. It helps me teach higher standards for ESL learners. Follow each component with me and see how. Lesson and ESL strategy, games. The activity that I will introduce to you is a group game called Mix and Match. It is part of the overall learning that will go on during the unit on telling time. The preparation, content and language objectives. This will be posted on our board. Content adaptation for ELL students telling time with our clocks. We will have a picture story posted on the whiteboard with pictures of clocks and the word clock written out next to the picture. Vocabulary list is written in English and Spanish and is posted in a prominent place in the classroom. Words can be added as we go along. Supplementary materials, clock, digital, and analog. Meaningful activities to practice language skills would be discussion with teacher, rephrasing, songs, and chants. The background and knowledge. I will link this to the students' lives. I will ask approximately what time do you go to bed, eat lunch, wake up in the morning, dinner, or go to practice. I will connect new information learned. Which way do the hands on the clock move? Counterclockwise. What does estimation mean? We will discuss this. We will point to our hand and ask, do you remember what this hand is called? The hand on the clock I'm talking about. We're talking about the small hand, the hour hand. We will sing songs and chants to remember vocabulary for development. We will use key vocabulary words on chart in Spanish, their native language, and English. Comprehensible content. Promote English development. Explain tasks clearly. Everyone show me what direction is counterclockwise, and I will have the students stand in a circle and show me counterclockwise. If they need help, I will show them how to move their arms counterclockwise. We are going to use the clock. I will hold up the clock for everyone to see, and they can say clock. When they say clock, I will tell them what a great job they are doing. We will move the hour hand. I will ask what this is called. They will answer, hopefully, the hour hand, and I will let them know that is correct. They're doing a great job. I will ask them to please move the hour hand to 1 o'clock. That way they can show me on their clocks that they know what I'm asking. They will move the hour hand to the number 1. I will also model moving my hour hand to the 1 on my clock. The strategies used during these lessons will be model and teach, paraphrase responses, pocket charts, vocabulary chart in English and Spanish. When say and listen, I will point to my ear, visuals, organizers. I will give extra time to students. I will let students talk in a group with each other. I will ask questions. I will see if they understand what time is closer to lunch, 9 o'clock or 12 o'clock. I will use peer buddies, explain key concepts in home language, simple direct language, games, songs and chants, observation, and I will front load activities. The interaction will be frequently. I will clarify key concepts in native language. I will help each other's conceptual knowledge. Discussions, questioning each other between student, teacher, and student, full group, pairs on the rug, small group, and supportive group patterns. Practice and application. Lessons that incorporate hands-on cooking activities, stirring in a counterclockwise motion. Field trips. We can estimate the time we leave, the time we return, and how long it takes to get there. We will use activities for language skills. We will read books about telling time. Listening skills to songs and chants about telling time. Writing in our journals about things that happen at specific times. For example, pick a time of day and tell us why it's so great. Computer games on telling time. Lesson delivery I will implement effectively. I will have a warm-up activity to settle students and get them thinking about some aspect of the lesson. I will focus on objectives. Today in math I will do a quick background. I will front load. I will show the handmade clock made the day before, show and say the exact time. We will discuss and review what students noticed about the clock the day before, then present to the class. Comment on responses and rephrase, and then move into small group. Review and assessment will be an informal group response. Individual responses I will monitor. I will see if I'm making progress. Do I need to reteach or can I move on? In this lesson telling time, there is always room to practice as it is ongoing. We will have concepts and vocabulary review. Informal assessment through observation, when students work together in pairs to use estimation language to tell time, and when students use their own clocks to show the time specified by the teacher. Because this is a language-intensive math lesson, students' understanding of the vocabulary will be key to their successfully answering questions from the teacher and participating with their partners. The teacher should also be sure to note students' nonverbal behavior, how they move the hands on their personal clocks to check for understanding. ESOL strategy is games. We will mix and match group activity. We'll have a mix and match group activity game. The activity that I will introduce to you is a group game called Mix and Match. It is part of the overall learning that will go on during the unit on telling time. It is our last group activity of the day. I have already prepared the students throughout the day. I have built the background by linking time to the students' scheduled lives with songs, time bingo, being a human clock, and moving counterclockwise, and with our daily lessons. Our key vocabulary words are hanging in Spanish and English for all to see and refer to. The teacher will model the vocabulary words frequently and rephrase students' answers using vocabulary words. I have modeled English development. The students have listened to and have gotten ideas from their peers. They have heard the teacher rephrase and model language. I've explained tasks clearly, rephrased responses, and asked questions. The materials we will need is cards, half with clock faces and a time, for example, a clock reading 2. The other half of the cards will have a time card, for example, 2, a blank sentence slip, and pencils. The instructions will be that the students will move around the room checking with their peers to see if they have the matching card. One card with a clock face that shows 2 and the other card that simply has the time written on it, 2. I will model the cards for the students to see. I will show the students the matching 2 cards. Students will read the card provided. On the back of the card will be the student's native language. I will then observe students and encourage students and step in when needed. Once students are matched with their time activity partner, they will sit with their time activity partner and discuss what they do around the time on their card, for example 2, during their day. Remind students they can refer to the timeline calendar activity on the board that we're doing during this unit. Next, they will use the provided sentence slip and write sentences together about what they do at that time that is on their card. Their peer buddy will help them. Students, when finished, will return to the circle, and we will sit in a circle with our partners and go around the circle, of course, counterclockwise. Last, they will be called to present to the group their matching clock cards. They will tell the group what time they have on their cards and share their sentence slip with the group. The teacher will rephrase and will compliment students. The teacher will also point out and compliment the use of correct spaces between their written words and punctuation at the end of their sentences, as well as a capital letter at the beginning of their sentence structure. The assessment will be informal through observation, such as when students worked in pairs to tell time. Since the basic content and language concepts of this unit will be used every day in basic classroom routines, assessment through observation is ongoing. As an extension, we can ask students to find out times for their after-school activities such as music lessons, sports practice, homework, or dinner. We will send a note home to encourage parents to use estimated time for activities with their students, such as you need to leave home about 4 or your dad will come home just after 6 tonight. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. Games are a great way of teaching children and they have fun while learning. Thank you.